tub. It's a blast from the past in the hot tub. All she do is throw it back in the hot tub. I might throw a whole stack in the hot tub. Baby, yeah, my phone got wet, so I'm glad I got double.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good dinner, good dinner, good morrow, good whenever. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Get you some of the vibes of say Young Gravy and fucking T-Pain, who ain't never missed ever. Never fucking missed.
Clay Thompson, Steph Curry.
Yes. You know what? Yes. Very, very Steph vibes. Where's T-Pain part? Nigga.
It has a very has that Bruno Mars feel to it also.
This is
What is it that we say? We're the funkiest podcast in this bitch, in case anybody was wondering. Because we played the good vibes, baby. Listen to the music. This is transitioning to the funky, wonderful, loving conversation. Where else would you want to be other than here? Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure for you to meet me.
I feel like, and you know the crazy thing, this is a testament. You know how good a song is for it's not. They're not even finished. This is not even the final version. But motherfuckers heard this shit on the internet and said, "Screen recorded, put it on YouTube. The fucking world needs this."
Absolutely.
I didn't do it because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know how much. But look at it. This is, you guys can't see it, but like this is just a fucking YouTube video of a fucking phone.
I wonder if you can like
capture.
screenshot that and add that into like the shit, like the overlays and stuff, put it up there so like people can actually like there's a button you can press on the keyboard that will screenshot the screen, right?
Yeah, it's a series of things.
And then add it on there so people would be able to see what you're talking about.
It's set on the pod, so now it has either some form or fashion, some pre-type of thought, because I won't say like we're always from the balls just firing off, but like it's a good portion of what's worked here, and I feel like, you know, that's part of the flair. But
Absolutely.
in the theme of, as we've been saying, I feel like for like a decade and a half, some sort of just, you know, put a little more on top of it, is thinking a little bit ahead of the song. Because then if I can't find the video, like we can at least, we can get you guys with a clip, because
we can do that also for the songs that we play. Like I know we're adding the songs to the playlist for the podcast so people can be funky with us even when they're not listening to us.
I've also determined to put it on YouTube. I just feel like that's easier because that's where I found these songs. Because at first I've been sitting here bouncing between like platforms. Fuck it, it'll be on YouTube.
Yeah, that way you guys can find, because some of these songs, especially ones that are not from this country,
you can only find it. That's the part that fucked me up.
Dumb on my part. Like incorporate all music, or they may get sprinkles of music for other countries, but like it would behoove you to include music of all genres from every country, just in case somebody's looking for it. But for us, especially if we're going to add it on to the playlist for YouTube, we could also probably screenshot it from YouTube and put it up on there up here so people can see what song it is. Don't pay us any mind. As usual, we're processing live, so you guys get to be a part of the
you
process.
Can do it. If anybody, you know, just like a conversation or two here and there where it's like, what do I need? Just do it. Because
just do it.
I feel like I'm not gonna play us to say I don't think we know what we're doing a little bit, but also you can definitely, like, what's that shit? Like, you can just jump off the cliff. You can make the plane on the way down. I promise you, there's enough room.
Absolutely.
It'll be fine.
Have a foundation. Because I'm not saying just jump into the shit flying by the seat of your pants with like no direction whatsoever.
Yeah, that one's stressful. I tried that.
But have some sort of a direction of where you would like to go and what you would like to do. You definitely can absolutely figure that shit out a long way, because I guarantee you, whatever plan you had going into it, it's not going to go 100% that way. You're going to have to adjust some shit. But have a foundation. Please have a foundation. If you go on sky jump or like whatever the case is,
shout out to Will.
You gotta have a fucking plane to get up in the air with.
Do fucking Evil Knievel, man. Just fucking.
What is you remember the cartoon Super Dave?
Yes.
Like fucking what was his? I can't remember his name on the TV show, but Tim Allen, like on his show, was it Home Improvement?
That was a show.
Like, yeah. So his character is like always fucking shit up, but like Super Dave was like the stuntman version of that. Like everything I do just turns to absolute shit and it goes wrong and I get blown up. But
speaking of like stunts, do you put Johnny Knoxville like in the in that conversation? Because I mean, it's more comedic, and they all definitely got fucked up. But like, those motherfuckers are technically like, I don't know how stunt shit works or where that hierarchy is.
I don't. I think it'll be difficult for them because they are a group. Because when you think of like doing some of the most extreme stunts, I wouldn't take Johnny Knoxville out of that group. I think Steve-O would probably be the most known for doing some of the
That's true.
craziest shit. Him and I forget the other dude's name, the other white guy that they like took pube hairs and like glued it on his face, and somebody had crabs or some shit like that.
Yeah, that shit
They
gets-
do a lot of fucked up shit to him where he gets fucked up. But Steve-O would definitely probably be the one that gets the most known for getting fucked up out of everybody. Johnny Knoxville is just like he's the face of Jackass.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, because I'm trying to think of, are we going just off fucked upness, or who's doing like stunts? Because like when I think like stunt people like professionally, or who's just like an all around extreme sports motherfucker. Oh yeah, Bam. Oh, Bam was
popular as shit,
but he was like skateboard dude. But Bam wasn't like
Bam was funny.
Yeah, but like the stunts, I remember Bam kind of going like, oh fuck this. Skateboard wise,
he'd do it, or if it had something to do with him doing college frat boy white shit, like he'd be in there, like him party boy and shit, like he'd do that.
When I think like stunts, when I think of like, okay, just hands down, I'm not fucking around, this is my job, I think like Travis Pastrana level stunts, like he's bikes and cars and fucking jumping out of planes and shit. So for them, I'm like, who's this stunt? Or even though it is funny, you get fucked up, that might be like Steve. I think it'd be Steve-O. Because yeah, he would, because like some of them end up being successful between him and like Knoxville. Like they turn into successful things. So
Knoxville was definitely like the ringmaster or the ringleader of the situation. He would facilitate shit. Steve-O was known for being the most extreme and like putting his body on the line. I think Bam, and Bam wasn't Party Boy. It was the other dude that was Party Boy.
Yeah, Party Boy shit was.
But them two became known like, yeah, he'd do the more raunchy, naked, pseudo gay-ish type stuff. Bam would definitely do the skateboard stuff because he even like was on some of the skateboard video games as like a special character because anything skateboard related, he would do it. So everybody had their own avenue that made them famous within the group, which is dope, which is necessary. Like, although we are working collectively, we each have the ability to do our own shit and come together and still make this grow at the same time. And what we want to do separately works with this collectively, but also doesn't get in the way of what we're trying to accomplish. So I think that's pretty dope.
I wonder how much they regretted this second movie, like this, not the second movie, like this new movie that's coming out.
Oh,
because it's like
afterwards.
Yeah, because like you can do like 1 and 2 and 3 when you're just getting fucked up every day. But like when I probably had years, and you got to think some of them niggas like have done all this time like living regular lives. They just said, fuck it, I got kids.
Right.
I'm gonna start going to get ice cream on Sundays. And somebody said one more time. And whatever pitch they made, whether it was money woes, or especially for the one who just doesn't have any money problems, like you just did it for the strength, and you came back like, holy fuck, I remember why I left. Like
yeah, because I think Steve-O is probably the only one that has done stunts and antics consistently, because that's part of who he is, and that's part of his comedic style, with him kind of going into the comedy thing. But I think it's also an aspect of his advocacy, because he does that like when he does shit to advocate for animals and like speaking up against SeaWorld. He was doing stunts and shit like that for a part of his advocacy and speaking out to certain topics. So that's consistent with him. Johnny has been full-blown comedy acting status.
Yeah, he's a fucking movie star.
So he ain't really been taking them shots like that. So yeah.
Also like Steve-O, like I wonder like is there a difference? I mean, I think there might be like clearly like in mentally, but like having like a completely sober like take at this, like as opposed to in the beginning, like now I'm a sober, fully middle-aged man. Yo, this shit hurt a little more. Like this is a whoof, man. Like, whoa.
Random thought. Is this the most we've ever talked about specific white people on this show?
Probably. Like because there's
in
no
a positive light.
Yeah, it's not like these motherfuckers been fucking up the community. It's just been like, oh hey, yeah, these guys were doing, unless they're talking about like, I mean, Wolverine's white,
but he's fictional.
Hugh Jackman's white.
Hugh Jackman is Hugh Jackman. He's doing I was going to say Boardwalk, but Broadway right now. He retired all that Wolverine shit to do Broadway.
What is that? I mean, I know it's the cultural thing. I think about it, I answer my question, but like it just is crazy. Like I wonder, like, do they get tired of like American actors? Because you just feel like over there, like everybody is like fucking like just broad, and it shows in their work though. Like they're just actors. Like I remember watching like even that joke clip that came up with Don Cheadle and fucking Kevin Hart was like, damn. Like, but when you watch that interview, like Don Cheadle talking, he's like, no, man, like I used to do like mad fucking theater. Like I used to fly.
Yeah, that's
to
what
LA.
I'm saying. He got his start with Rent, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like
if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the main people that was on Rent when it originally went to Broadway.
All that shit. So I'm just like, man, I don't know. I'm not like I don't want to get on one of my usual like hone your craft type things, but it's like, damn. It just them niggas be different. Like I don't know where that came from. I just when I look at motherfuckers and you like be like, damn, he's an amazing actor. You go back and he's like, fuck, that's why that motherfucker can stab you in the face and then cry in like another movie and then be like, you know, some weird crutchy villain or some shit. Cause that motherfucker was acting with nothing. It was just trick me, nigga, on stage.
I'm just on stage and I have to make it work, which is the original essence of acting. If you think of like medieval times when they were in the amphitheater, acting, and I have to have this red ribbon is blood, and like where they had to. We don't have the theatrics of cinema to help us. Like we have to actually convey the story, so they have to hone their craft a little bit more. I think I'll say that that's kind of the beauty of us, like our generation. I think we got a lot of the actors that we saw in cinema. Be so great because they came from that, whereas today it's just like you could be somebody that's hot on Instagram and end up in a movie.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have those opportunities at all. I just think sometimes it pigeonholes them. Like you sometimes like I have my little tirade about we need to bring in more stuff, but then I think to myself, everybody is not Lawrence Fishburne. It's a fucking jump to go from Ike Turner to motherfucking Morpheus.
You're adding in a portion of it because we ain't even talking about when he was like on the Pee Wee Herman show.
All that shit. Like fucking we talk about Sam, like the hardest working nigga in fucking Hollywood is Nick Fury, but he's also like
who's on the pipe.
That like you know he's like that like the Equalizer is Macbeth.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who else. All these motherfuckers are like theater trained. Like Viola Davis is a fucking monster. Like it just when you look at their performances and you like fuck around and get sucked in and be like, damn, this motherfucker actually is like, you know, I believe they're the character. You be like, damn, that's because they like did those fucking Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours type shits.
Right.
And it's like, fuck.
So in other words, when it comes to financial literacy, making sure that you're diversifying your bonds, because it will definitely help your portfolio.
That shit.
I mean, I'm talking cryptically, but it's the same shit. Like being able to add some depth to yourself, being able to add some versatility to you will definitely make you more marketable and make you more successful. Now, I'm glad you mentioned pigeonhole. That kind of gave me a random thought on some going back to not speaking about white people in such a positive light. Not to do that on purpose, but it is what it is. What's that movie? I want to say it's like 52 or 552 or some shit where the female spies, the movie that's coming out with the female spies from all around the world. I don't know if
yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. But like as they're introducing the female spies, the one thing that bugs me, and it bugs me a lot in cinema, film, and all that. Why does the black person always have to be from the UK? Why does the African black person always have to be from the UK? Are there no talented black spies that can come from directly Africa and live in Africa? Like,
that's a good point.
Why? Why is the black person always have to represent the white country and not representing a black country?
I feel like there's probably like something in there that's like, you know, like you have to come from like these super dope, you know, clandestine organizations. You don't think that when you think. Like, but that would be cool. Like, fuck Wakanda, man. Like, you can just have like a Nigerian fucking James Bond or some shit. All these countries have fucking, you know, fucking spy agencies and undercover whatevers and blah blah blah. I think that is like kind of representation. Like, these are the countries that get to it. The rest of these motherfuckers are not super powered enough to really have this or whatever.
And that's what bugs me because it continues that narrative that our countries are underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Or even like the U.S. spy is never a black person.
It's always the U.S. spy is always a fucking
same old
It's a
stubble
fucking
face, clean cut white boy with square chin, like, or the stereotypical white girl who's slender with longer, like. You
when
can't
they're
have
black, they're a fucking demolitions expert. Every nigga just blows shit up.
right.
And
They're the person that's going to be behind the scenes. Shout out to Ving Rhames, who just like you made your career out of being in that goddamn van to
I
help
used to
Tom
like-
Cruise goofy ass.
I used to like that one. I kind of, obviously nobody's going to take the action away from Tom Cruise in his own movie. So I kind of got that part. But also, I enjoyed the idea that I'm big, I'm black, and I'm a fucking tech genius, bitch. You niggas go out there and die. Like,
Right.
this shit doesn't function without me. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit you niggas fighting. Like, you cannot. I can shut down the entire Pentagon today. I'm like, okay, I'll
Right.
fuck with that. That's cool.
But if you think about it, that character, and then, hey, I'm the guy that makes all of Batman's vehicles. Like, those are the only two examples
Lucius.
of right. But those are the only two black people that I can think of that, like, oh, they're put in roles of support, but it's importance. So although we may not be making you the main person, you still have a very, very, very important role in how this shit comes together, and you also get notoriety for it. Outside of that, we're not included in the process at all. Or if we do, as far as being a foreign black person, somebody that is African or of African descent, you have to come from another white represented country. It's like, why is that? Why do you want to try and fool us in that regard to say that, oh, you're not able to do this coming from here? Like, why you don't have no super secret spy that's one of the top ranking agents in the CIA that was born in fucking Compton? Like, why is that not possible?
Because that's not the narrative they're going to provide. But I think that's it. I think, like, because even when they fucking had the whole debacle about the new 007's black woman, yeah,
Who also was from the UK.
yeah. And it's just like, yeah, bro. It's like, I mean, I get it. Y'all been like, having, these characters and shit. But I don't know. I like speaking of Don Cheadle, there was a movie years ago where he was like a spy. That shit was amazing. That was like one of the first, like one of the beginning, like, when you start getting older. I think we were like in high school or something like that when that movie dropped. And like, he was like
we were, or you were?
Maybe I was. Because I'm trying to think if it was like,
if you were anywhere close to 11th or 12th grade, yeah, I was probably
you were
college
done.
already. I was done.
But that's why I don't know if it was at the beginning. Either way, it was high school, early college era, and he was a spy. I should know the thing. I'll probably pop it up here later on. But and it was like one of those movies where, like, you kind of get older and it's like, oh, I'm cool with the plot. Everything doesn't have to be boom pow pew. And I was like, that's one of the movies. Yeah, that's one of the movies I was like, oh, the dude is a fucking amazing actor. And it was also one of those movies, like, everything like post 9/11 was like, go to fucking
everything was
go to the Middle East and like undo
discriminating against Arabs because
so like it was a little much. And he was like, that was part of the film. Like, he was kind of like figuring out, I think, like his allegiance. It was a lot, but it was a good film. I don't know what the fuck it was called though.
I would want to see like who produced it, because that plays a role in it for us. Like oftentimes, like say with the most recent, not Rainbow Six, but it's gonna transition into Rainbow Six, the movie with Michael B. Jordan. Like, he plays a hand in the movie. That's the only reason why he's getting that role.
Yeah.
Like, we have to play a hand in that in order to get proper representation. But outside of that, we don't. They'll make it seem like, oh, just like what you said, the 007 thing. It's kind of like a smoke and mirrors, because they're using that to help bring more notoriety to the film, so black people will actually watch it and it'll expand their demographic. We're going to have a black 007. You're not really saying that. No, she's not taking over the movie. No, she's not going to play a super. You're like, we're tricking you.
That's the thing. Like, that's because I didn't finish that movie. Not because I didn't like it. I just kind of like fell asleep every time I tried to watch it. But it was more so like, that was one thing when her character comes in, I was like, I see what y'all doing. And yes, we like Daniel Craig, but like, y'all could just fucking do it. Like, just fucking get a dick. Like, just fucking. Speaking of producers,
basically used her, not to cut you off, they basically used her as, she's a badass. 007's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
And they use her being a badass as a way to usher in Daniel Craig's badassness, because towards the end of the movie, she's like giving him his respect of like, oh yes, you are 007. So it's like, you're only here.
It's not even a mantle pass movie for real.
It's not at all. It's really like South Park. Your token.
Let me show y'all how I get down. Because I thought I was retired. I'm James Bond.
Right.
You know, whatever.
I'm the baddest motherfucker. Even though she's bad as fuck, and I give her respect for being bad as fuck, but I'm badder than her. And then she bows down at the end, like, yes, you are 007, sir.
You know, it was a good ass producer. Speaking of producers, just today we had like a little like good news retreat thing, cause bonding, fucking exercises and shit like that. Yo, Kelvin really a producing ass nigga. Like we was doing some of those fucking like things, and like he like turned into like work him, and I was like, oh shit, this nigga like does stuff.
That kind of goes back to what I was saying as far as Jackass, right? Like everybody has a talent and they can understand how to bring it to the collective, and bringing it to the collective doesn't derail what everybody's trying to accomplish together or separately. So, I mean, I noticed that as well. Me having the ability to do more speaking or providing clarity to where it's like, this is what we're trying to do, right? This is what we're trying to accomplish. This is how we get there. This is how we can word it. This is how we can speak it. That's my talent. Whether I speak it myself or whether I help somebody understand how to speak it clearly, that's my strength. I bring that to the team when we're brainstorming and creating and things of that nature. For him, that's his talent. He can bring that to, you guys group exercise, but understanding your talent to provide more clarity for the group is super important.
Just a dope ass writers room, bitch. We're making movies now. We're fucking we're pitching ideas. We're making fucking visuals and TV shows.
Like just dope ass writers guild or some shit.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know how this works yet. I don't know what I don't really know how Hollywood functions for real, but whatever.
I'm trying to think of it. What is the, I want to say it's like Tastemasters Club or something like that, where people get together periodically and do the writing and speaking and helping each other, figuring out, like, it's teaching
something.
I feel it's like it's Tastemasters Club or something.
I'll buy it. I know there's a bunch of fucking like things, but in my mind, when everybody's like I used to, like, until I really, like, you talk to certain people who are in the industry or whatever, I used to legitimately think when they were like, we're in the writer's room, like that you sit down and get a notepad and like write out ideas. And then depending, some people work like that, but I'm like, oh, y'all really just get in there and we just start vomiting ideas and merge them. And I was like, oh shit, give me a job. Like, what the fuck? Like, I got like 2 or 3 niggas that I do this with on a daily. We just fucking have a drink and just watch some shit. And like, yeah, is that what that is? Fuck, man. Like,
but I think that kind of goes back into like my smoke and mirrors thing. Like we have this perception of certain processes or this perception of certain things, thinking that, oh, they must do some elaborate, extravagant shit that I could never have the capacity to do or the ability to do. And then you see it and be like, it's really monkeys throwing shit at the wall.
Pretty much.
And then they pass it on to people like us who really make it a thing. And that's what makes it work. And it's like, oh, I'm no different than the people that are actually doing the work. The person that kind of came up with this, he's fucking somebody with heavy pockets. That's really all it is. Like, you're funding something, you want to make the idea happen, and then you go from there. Like, it's not too many, say, Adam Sandler's or I don't know why, Tyler Perry's or people like that like, I have the money, I have the idea, I can make it happen, I'm going to be a part. Like, there's not too many people that are that intricate and involved in what they're doing. It's just like, my role is I fund.
That makes sense. Oh yeah, that made me think of 2 things. One, smoke and mirrors, like, is the whole internet, and I'll probably go back to a tirade about that. Yeah. But speaking of fucking Adam Sandler, I was that fucking that clip that came up from the Breakfast Club, and goddamn Ryan Davis, like, you know what I liked about that is that, like, he like really thought out the question.
Absolutely.
Like, the motherfucker, they were like, okay, just comedy in general, we talking just stand up, because I feel like that shit is important. Like, context is fucking important. Like, that shit, niggas, I looked in the comments and niggas still blew, I can't believe this motherfucker said Adam Sandler. And it's like, dog, how hard is it to fucking just for 2 seconds apply context to that nigga? Listen to the question, then explained, and then said, yo, if we're talking just who makes the most, even like, he's like, yeah, you have to almost throw it to Ice Cube. People who are comedians aren't getting these looks and such and such. If you niggas had said stand-up comedy, that's a whole different list. Right. Niggas still got fucking like up their ass about it. And even that transition to, like, because it's not a fucking show unless you have relationship talks about stuff. The internet again, and God, I promise, because I don't want to talk about them anymore. Like, we didn't even bring them to the show with this first stupid fucking thing they said. I just made a couple posts, laughed a little bit, and I thought they would just fucking die in the sun. And these I'm here for Duel, and whoever this fucking weird doofy friend is, are back on the fucking internet talking to Brittany Renner. I've never looked at one fucking image and hated everybody in the room. So like I hated every single person.
You
It
make
was
that what is it, the Michael Jackson meme where he got the funky face of like,
yeah, it was just like I just like I couldn't even. I feel like I almost like my eyes. I don't know if you can break little things in your eyes. Like because I couldn't hate everybody equally. It was just like I hate the room. Everybody said some dumb shit. I don't know what academics said because I only watched the clip, but like just
they all said something that if translated differently,
dog shit.
it could be made sense of, and it may have a small aspect of validity, but the amount of gymnastics you have to go through to understand the intellectual capacity of what they're saying is it's not what the average person is doing.
The best quote is from, I have to give Shard her props. This wasn't even me. She was like, honestly, because she's getting in her comic book bag. I'm so fucking proud.
Thank you. We love you, Sharden.
Nigga said it was literally like watching like two villains fight. She was like, like the villain beat this other villain, but it's like, bitch, it's still a villain. Cause she was saying that in regards to everybody just, licking the crack of fucking Brittany Renner's ass. And they're like, yeah, she got them niggas up out of here with that quote. But she's like, she's still fucking her, guys. Like that's not whatever.
She's still going to prey on some college boy right after.
All right, man, let me try to I guess I acknowledge this in the smallest degree. Obviously, the fit and fucking the fucking fuck whatever them niggas, and they were on Brittany Renner and they were on Academics podcast. They were having a conversation about obviously the plethora of fuck shit they've all just said in life, and just as they've been existing, and she kind of ate them niggas up about like how they talk about women and asked them like what is the purpose of their show and what do they get out of talking down and talking slick and talking shit towards women. And to me, I enjoyed that part one because it showed that like, and I'm not this is not a platform to promote just shitting on anybody, but I'm like, this is where it's like, yo, there is no point because them niggas clam the fuck up. If you have a real point, you could really argue the fact of like, my show is about this is this, whatever. Maybe you lying, but that to me was like, okay, you niggas don't really have a point or purpose, whatever. You just do give off. I didn't get no dick touches when I was in high school, and black girls said nasty things to me. So you know what? It's fuck them to the end of the world because, and honestly, I hate you niggas so much. Also, I've been telling y'all, bro, y'all got to stop respecting these niggas who are balding. It's either you bald or nothing. You saw, bro, had the fucking landing strip. It's not a commitment. Why would you? I'm okay.
He's trying to hold on to it, man. He has issues with commitment, and those are just unforeseeable red flags that if you just pay attention to small context, you can probably notice it.
And here's my other gripe with things that they said, because they discuss, now here's her with the predator shit and like the weirdo shit that I feel like is saying. She said something along the lines of, I stopped messing with bro because, I wanted the committed relationship. I wanted the blah, blah, blah. And he couldn't give that. I call bullshit. I think that was like with some predator shit. The motherfucker was 19, 20. That doesn't give you realm to fucking like go out and cheat or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. Motherfucker's immature. Because if you really wanted that level of maturity, you would have found somebody. You motherfuckers all sit in the same rooms. So you would have found somebody obviously financially in the same spot of a certain age. But if that person is a mature or wiser individual or type of dude, that nigga's gonna call you on bullshit. Jumped on little man because fucking idiot. That's my theory, and fight me.
I have a slightly different perspective of that. I would call bullshit for the simple fact that yes, he's young, he's immature, he's just now getting fame, he's just now getting money. It for him, the ideal looks up because I get this fine ass Instagram type chick that wants to be in a relationship with me. I got smashed, I got her pregnant, we're starting a family. He wasn't unwilling to give her what she was looking for. She just didn't understand how to communicate to him what that entailed for her and be willing to do the same. Why were this conversation not going in a particular direction? Because you were doing the same thing that he was doing, actually probably more so than him, because he actually was like, yo, I'm showing y'all, this is my lady, I got her pregnant, this is my family, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. It was clickbait for you. It was an opportunity to propel your image into a different light, to go from the girl that created the tell-all book that was hoeing for all these other people to being a more wholesome woman. But it was never because this is my family and I love them. Y'all had two different narratives. So
That's
even
a
the
good-
communication was not there. She was doing smoke and mirrors from a victim mentality. He was actually bought into it. He just didn't understand what he had to do to nurture it.
That's a good take, because my sister said something along the lines of like, you know, everybody does like the internet cleanup when they do some shit, deleting pictures that and third. So I guess
Rollout tour.
so. Yeah, that kind of ties into what you're saying about like, oh, I'm just gonna be a whole different. It changed my image. On these niggas' side, when they said that, as opposed to saying anything, fuck, not even anything that just to me had any semblance of thought, their statement was something along the lines of like, when you get somebody rich, you got to deal with the fact that they gonna cheat. That's just what you got to do. You got, and I'm here to say, as much as we talk about multiple hoes, fucking, and polygamy, those are consensual relationships with consenting, not manipulate. I
communicated.
Yeah, yo, like if a motherfucker said like, "Hey, I want to be with in a wholesome relationship." This first of all, because I've said this before, like there's polygamy. There was a clip that I saw today, and I forgot what it was, but it was like having multiple people doesn't make the relationship better. It's not like a cure for cheating. That just means you're gonna fuck it up bigger because you have more people to fuck it up with. If you are say, I want to fuck with these two people, those two people become your two partners.
Right.
It ain't like you fucking look here, bitch, lick my goddamn boot. It's like, no, nigga, you have to now be emotionally available for two individuals. This is a fucking trifecta relationship or a foursome or however many fucking numbers you want to work, or y'all and the goddamn Lysol box, whoever you fucking with, whatever it is, y'all are equal portions. As opposed to, and I'm not saying niggas ain't whatever. I feel like everybody has an ego moment, whatever, but it's not the same as, me and my bitch got a bitch. You could, that could be, nice, but that's a different dynamic. And then there's, obviously there's niggas who just want to be able to say that they got their bitch to suck pussy. And now you got some insecure girl out here, tooting her nose up in the bedroom, crying inside because she got to lick old girl's ass so that you won't leave. That's not the same thing. None of these things are the same thing. And it's fucking dumb. And back to that fucking statement about context. I need niggas in shows like this to stop being the voice for dudes because they're just not. This is weak, weird nigga shit. And I am a little bit bothered that I even gave them light on my platform. But the conversation just kept coming up. And I've been asked like 3 or 4 times, you gonna talk about this? So we're talking about it. You got what the fuck you asked for. Here we are.
Not even specifically what they were saying, but yes, we have to stop giving shit the attention that it does not deserve. Like we talked about, the smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely,
right?
Lotus. No touches.
None. Well, they get them, but they manipulate their way into the touches that they get. They're lying and being insecure, but that kind of goes into the smoke and mirrors. So even with those dudes, you're presenting yourself as if you are the voice of male reason, but you're also choosing dunderhead female guests. You're not choosing somebody that is either a intellectual equal or somebody that surpasses you. You got a bunch of wig wearing, Miami Beach walking young chicks that want to be famous for being cute on your podcast. You're not having women that are doctors and lawyers, or even just women that are business owners, even if it's just a salon or something, but you don't have women that have a certain intellectual capacity. You're picking people for a certain narrative because it fits what you're trying to present. It's all smoke and mirrors. You're not having authentic conversation. You're having tailored conversation. You're having something that is relatively structured to condition a certain point, but you're not speaking for the masses because you're not even speaking real shit. You're finding an environment that condones your bullshit. That's essentially what you're doing. And then we all get judged because of your ignorance and fuckery.
Yeah, because that'd be my thing with like the conversations. Like, bro, this shit is not about, this is about controlling and manipulating the bitch, man, and all that other shit, which all that pimp shit sounds cool on paper. But the idea is for any other show, I feel like, of substance, word the fucking, I don't know, man, keep it 1,000. I'm just going to shout somebody's show out here. Like, it's like, yo, like I think I'm a significant, this type of dude. I need this and this out of a partner. Those are conversations to facilitate like, yo, we are having issues, men and women. I've said this before a number of times. This might make this a fucking tagline. A community is not built without anything other than your relationships. Like the relationships are the foundation. So if me and my queen mother of the earth, well, if king father of the earth, we can't find a way to make this shit work, then nothing gets done. Then we have all these like, black and brown issues because nobody's fucking with one another. So nigga, if you have the conversations honestly, like, look, man, I'm not in any way saying that niggas is perfect by any margin. But what I am saying is from our perspective, these things are fucking happening on y'all's end. So that's what the fuck we're gonna talk about. And goddamn, man, if you ever, decide to maybe sit down and go, okay, nigga, tell me about it. And then we fix some of this shit. Cause I'm not saying don't do that to us. I'm just saying every goddamn show is about that. But niggas like this are just fucking weird. And I just can't. I just fucking can't. Cause you niggas make life just stupid. Like these hoes she don't want to fuck you that day, dude. You're not a fuckable nigga. Go away. That has nothing to we're not talking about the same shit.
That goes into extra context that we need. Not just, we can't 100% leave all of the accountability on the person putting out the content for them to think from multiple angles. Because some people, that's not their goal, right? They're utilizing the smoke and mirrors for clickbait. We're trying to get, fame, or we're trying to get noticed and notoriety, but we're not trying to have a specific purpose that's going to create a positive angle. We just want to be known. We're trying to get our numbers up. So we're going to do shit that gets the numbers up. The context is what is needed to actually have a purposeful conversation or understanding. Where we come in and say the patrons of said content, we got to understand how to think outside the fucking box and not take everything face value. Because even with the pimp shit that you said, we have a communicated, understood dynamic. Yes, I may come from wanting to manipulate an insecure woman's mind, but if I'm talking about my bottom bitch, baby, like she knows everything that's going on. When I'm frustrated, she may be one of the few that actually knows that I'm frustrated. She knows how to understand me. Although it may not be the most healthy dynamic, she understands why she's here, what the goal is, how she plays a role in that. We understand how we complement each other, what we do for each other, and we talk about it on a regular basis. He might not do that for his this throwaway hoe, but for my bottom bitch, baby, my right hand man, or if he has two of them within, there's communication that goes on. So I'm not doing this simply for the fact of boosting my ego. These are my partners in some capacity. Like they know how to actually hold me down, as unhealthily as it may be. They still understand the shit. Y'all not talking about that context. You just like,
I think that is something even to use, because I just feel like, look, if I'm gonna give this a shot, I'm gonna use the worst fucking example possible. So to piggyback off the pimp shit, I think that is because I've had to explain that, and it is, I don't know why I do this to myself, but it is always an uphill battle. I feel like if I can explain the worst shit, I can probably explain the easier shit in some form or fashion. Test yourself, people. Some gym in what I just said.
Step outside your comfort zone. We say it all the time.
All that. But like, yeah, if you try to defend, like, I can't believe you said, so you just really think if you tell a bitch that a flea could pull a tree, she should cook his ass up? And I'm like, okay, man, like, essentially, that's a pretty tough line. Like, into a pool full of pimp piss, I'm not gonna put no bitch. I'm not gonna do that. That's like harsh. But to use like Patrice, even a Patrice O'Neillism, who I feel like he said some harsh shit, and that's been also hard to explain. But like when he was like, I got every bit of a pimp in me except to put a bitch on a track. Essentially, and it's a hard context, but to say that, like, Soup said it's like one time in an interview, it's like the pimp shit is not necessarily putting them on the track on the other shit. It's just in certain spaces, especially relationship wise, there is a lot of that. Even go back to the happy wife, happy life thing. So as a dude, you get enamored by, holy fuck, she listens to that person. She listens to him. And then, niggas drive it off the cliff and go full pimp. But I know that sounds trash, and it is like a bad example, but we're here now. But if you're on the other side, there's a part in there where it's like, there's just dudes not heard. And like, so he's enamored with this idea that a woman will listen to me. Obviously, it's the start of a villain origin story, and you turn into the fit and fuck up niggas. But living in that space is, I think, where we try to keep this show at is like, that's trash. We're not acknowledging that's trash. In this space, though, where that man said, I want to be the whatever fuck version of whatever. And this is an issue I'm facing. Every time I say whatever, I'm a bitch ass nigga, I'm a punk motherfucker, I'm overlooked, I'm not listened to. I say one thing, a motherfucker tells me this is what I said, when that's not what I said, period. Not the context I said it, not whatever. And that's outside of just fucking romantic shit. So you know, black man stories being fucking, you know, everybody's villain. So that part is what we're trying to get to, man. Is like, if a motherfucker say I'm in it like this, take 5 seconds to go like, oh, okay. Like there's context everywhere. Like, you know, it's probably not the best point, but you could say the devil had a point in certain parts, probably.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
gotta
you
be
should
able to
be
explain
able
it.
to understand multiple perspectives. So even kind of piggyback off what you're saying with the pimp shit. So let's say at his core, in the most unhealthy, insecure way, essentially that man is just looking for somebody that I hear you. I listen to you enough and believe in you enough to ride with you through whatever venture that you're gonna take us on that's gonna help us in some capacity. Like I'm submissive enough to come to you and be willing to like, I hear you and I'm giving myself to you in support of this vision and this goal. Which when it comes to submissiveness, now we have a different understanding of what submissiveness is, and we end up taking that and putting it to a negative connotation. But if you break a lot of the shit down, healthy or unhealthy, that may be where it goes to. I just want to feel heard. I just want somebody that's going to be submissive enough not to like fucking rub my feet when I'm sitting in my lazy boy and put my slippers on and take a kneel before me and pass me the morning paper. I'm not saying submissive in that regard, but submissive enough to say, you know what, I'm here with you, and this is where you want to go. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna ride with you, and you have all of my support as much as you need it, however you need it. I choose you, to feel chosen, to feel important. The same things that we see a lot of women say that they want. There's tons of men that want the same thing.
You know the game. Your bitch chose me. And we can get into some gangster shit, you know. Rest in peace, Max, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What'd he say?
You were there
When no one else.
to be in my corner.
No one was in my fucking corner, dog. You fuck.
And it's you that I've learned to love.
I learned we had to do this for a fucking minute. Nobody just walked up and saw your fucking ass and said butterflies fly at that bitch.
How can I ever thank you?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Take you home.
Make you. Is that even a pimp? So it's a love song.
So it was used in a pimp movie, so that's why people would think
But he was looking for. Goldie was looking for love. He was trying to make it make sense.
he was looking for love in the wrong ways, in the wrong places. He just learned how to make it work for him, which is what a lot of people in general do.
You motherfuckers was not outside. I just.
If you was
don't
outside, you wasn't
Shit
present.
off.
You could have been outside, but you wasn't paying attention to your surroundings. You was just outside because your mama told you to go take your black ass.
Fucking ass itch, man.
But yes, it's the context of it. Even the lyrics of the song. Like when people think of pimp shit and they think of pimp movies, they may think of this song from the blaxploitation era. But listen to the lyrics. I want somebody that actually cares for me and supports me, and you do that. You affirm me in all the ways that nobody else does. So I choose you to be in my life, and I appreciate you. That's what a lot of dudes are doing. That's what pimps are doing. It may not be in the best way, as I said earlier, but I'm looking for somebody that believes in me. The niggas on the Not So Fit podcast, which I don't understand why that's part of your title, because neither one of y'all I'm out of shape for my standards now, and I still look way more fit than you motherfuckers. But whatever. The unfitting, unsavory.
Finna get this
podcast.
goddamn post.
Absolutely.
Yes. See, when I was talking, this is half. When I was talking about the goddamn get right earlier, this is the other half. What is it? Come on, man. What's your shit? Like the baddest bitch on the block.
Oh, you talking about
Yeah.
his name tag? That
Yeah,
he
yo,
had?
you got like niggas have tags like the baddest bitch on the block. Is it every block that you're on? Is it a specific street? Like where it's like this is bad bitch at
And well, for that one, you
like
have,
a yo like a
you'd have to be
gang.
careful of the block too, right? Because if you say like I'm the baddest motherfucker on Fig, that's a different conversation.
You should do like a like the Warriors. Did y'all watch the Warriors? And it was like, you know, because they had like those for gangs and they didn't
Warriors.
come out and play. It's the baddest bitch. Anyways,
Every block.
oh shit.
Okay.
And that nigga said,
well,
fuck,
all right.
yo. And that nigga said, all you
All
bitches
blocks.
are fucking trash.
Country
on
blocks,
every
New
street.
York City blocks,
Damn, nigga.
Southern
That's
California blocks,
woo.
road blocks, road blocks, whatever it is, I'm in that
Nigga said
bitch.
Roblox, Legos, fucking
With Lincoln Logs, all that shit, whatever it is.
block of
I
cheese,
bees.
motherfucker.
Right.
That's mine.
I bees that
Oh,
bitch,
shit.
motherfucker. But shout out to that. But we appreciate it. Thank you for the
Word.
great conversation. We appreciate your input as well. Thank you.
But yeah, man, just like, I don't fucking know, dog. Like in a minute, I'm finna fucking call Triller because I know I can like,
Oh, we can
yeah, yo, just pod fight because like I
Right.
just this shit's dumb.
we
Like,
can have a wrestling match, tag team, or like. Matter of fact,
Call
even
Compton-mania.
with shout out to TGN family. Was it Compton Mania?
yes,
Y'all, if
this
y'all
is
not
the
saying-
thing.
Y'all could set up, contact
But
them
yes,
niggas and set it up.
yes.
We'll go in the ring with these motherfuckers, and we're gonna win anyway. But set that shit up. I will.
I want this. I want.
Psycho said power bomb the shit out of one of these niggas.
Yes, I'm getting a
Through
razor.
the tables.
I'm getting a fucking. I'm getting a Razor Ramon vest.
Oh,
With
the chain and all that, Chico.
Yeah, it's that or Stone Cold, man. Because you just gotta.
I'm definitely stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Stone Cold.
I'll get beer and everything. I don't even like beer like that, but like
Kombucha.
Honestly, sorry, they were completely off. I saw something the other day. I went to, and it was the worst shit ever. I went to a fucking pho place a couple weeks ago because I was just in the mood. But I went to, I don't know, I went to like douchebag LA, and I should have just went to a regular pho spot with like my regular Vietnamese folks. I knew when I walked in, and it was like, oh my god, I was like, shit. And on the menu, it seemed like it was gonna be dope. I didn't even know how you can make unseasoned because it's already not the most seasoned dish. This shit tastes like I was eating fucking card. Anyways, they had like hard kombucha, and
you were gonna say that,
and I was like, "Who the fuck's idea was this?"
I don't know, but I kind of fuck. So oddly enough, in my apartment building, like in somebody like, because where my car is parked is underground parking or whatever. But in front of somebody's parking spot, like sometimes people will leave shit out, like, "Hey, everybody can take this. I have extra lemons, so here, just take some. I have this in my house that I don't use anymore. If you want to take it, you can take it or throw it in the garbage." But somebody put hard kombucha out there, and I was walking by for like a week and a half, and I was like, did somebody just forget they shit down there? And I looked at it and I was reading, it's like, oh, this is hard kombucha. Like, I know hard lemonade and hard seltzers and all that, but hard kombucha.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm too scared to buy it because once
didn't
you buy
it.
it,
was
I'm
free.
committed.
I took one of the cans and drunk it in the house just to see.
How was that?
Like. The taste was, it was kombucha-esque, but I was like, hey, I got a little. Right.
Damn. So is it like, are you still healthy? Is it like healthy and lit?
I hope so, because
is that a thing?
I don't need no.
Come on,
liquid.
vegans, what the fuck are you niggas doing?
Out.
Like,
I mean, y'all see how I normally roll. I keep the water and chlorophyll and stuff with me, but that's because I want to live, and my chance of survival is cut in half in comparison to the rest of y'all in certain organ areas. But I hope it's still healthy, because
shit, like the way Channing talk about RC, because he got his fucking. You like fucking. Oh, what was it? The Elric brothers fucking teacher.
This is where we need to pictures to throw up there so people can.
Oh, I'm gonna put that up there because
it'll be in the post.
Watch them. Oh my god, yo! There's so many anime references that I don't make aside from the ones I fucking do make.
Shit we gotta add on here so we can throw it up there and people can know exactly what we're talking about.
But I don't know where the fuck
that gives me an idea. We can also random side thought. We're talking. Don't pay.
This is completely deep. He said good ass conversation, and we fucked it up ever since.
No, we did. This still applies. We haven't deviated from what we've been talking about the entire time. I normally reel us back in anyway.
Yeah, that's not my job. I have none of that.
That's my job.
Yeah.
In case anybody hadn't figured it out, I'm the
one that I will fire anything out. Yeah, I'm not at all the fucking.
I'm gonna take that role for a split second as we can throw shit up there. So like, what pictures would you choose if we're talking about something that's absolute trash? Would you choose trash? Would you choose that? Like, in my mind, for some reason, I just had the picture of an asshole. Oh, like full like puckering sphincter of like something that is just complete ass.
Pictures work when they're like they're. I'm a video person. Like, I like to like see. So I think like somebody. That's why GIFs I think are so popping. Like, you gotta like see somebody throwing away trash. Or like trash, like if I could find like a clip where trash like bursts, because when you like trash is nasty, but trash becomes way worse when it's been in the bag just stewing and it's like, and it's like, yo, when the fuck did you get like a soggy styrofoam? I mean, and it's like with weird. I don't even know how I ate that. It's just juices, and not the good kind.
Yeah,
sex
garbage stew. It's like real soupy at the bottom. All the wetness is dripped to the yeah, like chicken juice and watermelon rinds and fruit and all. It just soaked to the bottom. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
gross.
that is cut that bottom open, and put it all in the cup, and that's what you got to drink during set. You gonna make it through that night?
Not that it brewed in the garbage, but hypothetically speaking, if there were a thing, because organizations don't do bad stuff to people.
We're not.
But hypothetically speaking, if somebody was to go and just clear out the things that are all in every part of the fridge and like grind up onions and fucking stuff and then give it to people to drink it, I wouldn't say that I know what that feels like, but I'm saying that I would say that it's probably terrible tasting. It's not okay.
You know what? Allegedly, I can say sometimes it's not that bad. I mean, I've experimented.
Potentially weird.
Not that anybody made me do it, because I don't participate in organizations that do that. That's not what we do around here. But I've experimented.
Deep waters we're in.
I've experimented, and sometimes in certain situations it hasn't been that bad, especially me being the one that has to I have to do the most, because
Actually, I tried to potentially, hypothetically speaking, I would try to drink as much randomly as how somebody earned their name that way, which is fucking hilarious.
I mean, E40 made his name that way. It worked out for him.
Hey, look, man, just fun times.
But yes, back to the is it GIF, whatever it is.
I think it's GIF.
But yes, a dumpster fire could be nice to put up there.
Oh yeah,
I like the meme of the dude that's like doing this in front of the trash can, like when you talk about trash. It's like, we out here, we trashed in a motherfucker. Like that could work up there, but that was just my small deviation of like shit that we could put up here for extra understanding, for people to get that extra little visual.
Context. I'm just saying, context is important.
Absolutely.
And fucking doofy niggas is doofy.
It stands within the line of our conversation.
Yeah. Context. See, my thing is, I don't be like when dude conversations come up and then it'd be like, look, man, hate me for what I said in the context of what I said.
Right.
That motherfucker's a doof.
But understand the context of when I said it, as opposed to assuming the context of what I said. Because a lot of people will assume that a lot of man talk is strictly locker room conversation, and even if it is in some
we have to start changing the narrative on locker room conversation.
That was exactly what I was about to head to it. Because y'all haven't been in a male locker room. As somebody that has played high school, collegiate, and professional sports, I know what it's like in a male locker room, and we have I've seen dudes in their locker checking their stocks before and after practice.
This is honestly one, you have to blame a certain type of nigga for propping certain platforms up to a degree, but also just people who just you just eventually some things are just posted for whatever reason. But fucking
blaming white people
like that, to post what their understanding is, like you said, nobody's been in a locker room, even that shit. And I'm not over this. That Harlem shit where that nigga was like, I sucked the pussy, spit in the ass, and then I fucking was fucking her mouth. I'm like, nigga, never in my whole entire life. I've been bald, but I still go for the shit. To this day,
Joe Budden.
Yeah. To this day, there's been relationship conversations, of course, but I have till now to go, a nigga so I lubed up my fist and just punched her right in the butthole. And there's a fucking 8-year-old and a mom there. That's that's like an unspoken rule for barbershop talk. Is
you can still be real and authentic without being completely over the edge when it comes to conversation around the women and children. This is a safe space for us when it's specifically us, but even then you have to be comfortable to understand who the fuck is in the room. And we know how to read the room. Y'all be acting like in barbershops that we don't know how to read the room.
Yeah, read the room, and man intuition is a thing. It's a fucking big thing. It exists in fucking droves.
Humans just like you. If you have intuition, we do too. Why? Because we were hunters, supposedly, right? So hunters have to have instincts and intuition, right? Did you check the other chat?
Did I?
You did earlier.
No, they ain't talking about shit.
No, they ain't talking about us.
But you know what? I don't care.
We appreciate everybody that participated in the StreamYard conversation. That we did do. Also, shout out to Keelan.
I hear this goddamn shit.
Just dropping her project. A fan of the show, a supporter of the show. She was on here, 2 weeks ago? She's been on here a few times, so support her. Part of the Dirty Laundry family, extended family of the podcast. But y'all hear this lovely funkiness, so y'all go ahead and support her most recent project.
It's called Groove. If you didn't know, Groove. Groove.
If it's called Groove, Key, since it's called Groove, you can groove it, baby. Like, is this something that you need to tell me? You groove? What up, Groove? Like, is there something that you need to know? I didn't know you was out there. Like, I still love you though, baby.
She's fucking conscious of dangerous. All right, man. Go fucking run that shit up.
Go drink
Thanks for
some
listening.
hard kombucha to, get you buzzed for the rest
Get you
of
some
the evening.
hard kombucha and listen to Groove. You know what?
Absolutely. Light some sage, get some hard kombucha instead of some bullshit wine. Listen to something like this. Get yourself a nightie, male or female. I don't give a damn. Get you a nice little nightie or something that you can put on where you can still be slightly covered but naked and free under, and just enjoy the rest of your evening. Find you something nice to eat, whether it's your favorite meal or some ass, whatever you prefer. It doesn't really matter, but just enjoy yourself for the evening. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Monday, motherfuckers.
See y'all later.